Levin right here on the Fox News channel, nationally syndicated radio host, dear friend of mine, great one. In many ways, I'm glad for the country and for the president. Many ways I am. In other ways, we came dangerously close. This was an attempted coup, a rigged investigation. Then they attempted to rig the general election, and then they tried to undo a duly elected president.
No question about it. I have in front of me, and the EPA should be very upset about the amount of paper that's involved here, the Mueller report. 400 pages that could have taken 2 words, no collusion, manufactured from day one. They break it into 2 parts. First of all, he's wrong about no collusion. Wrong about no collusion. The Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC, they colluded. Senior level of the FBI that isn't even there anymore, they're all under criminal or IG investigation, they colluded. You had McCabe on 60 Minutes, all but saying that the President of the United States was a spy for Russia, conspiring on the 25th Amendment. All this manufactured drama and criminal activity. And the media in this country, Mediagate, going along with it. Even today, you have this report, it's in 2 parts. The second part is really a political report. It's an impeachment report. And let me tell you what happened here. What happened here, and I have a question too, what happened here is Bill Barr rightly testified during his confirmation, and he said, look, I'm going to release as much of this report as I can. And the Democrats take over the House before that, and Mueller and his people say, okay, perfect. We don't have enough on obstruction. We have enough on obstruction. We bring obstruction. We're a bunch of rabid Democrats dressed up as prosecutors. Look how they've treated Manafort at his home. Look how they treated Stone at his home. And suddenly, they're going to be forbearing? No, they're not going to be forbearing. I want to read you something. It's been read all day on the airwaves. Ultimately, why we believed that we had the authority and the legal jurisdiction to issue a grand jury subpoena to obtain the president's testimony, we chose not to do so. You didn't choose not to do so. You would have had your asses kicked from one court to the other. You had no criminal predicate for a subpoena, none. And they basically confessed. They said, hey, look, we decided near the end of our investigation, a couple of years of litigation over this, it's not worth it. We basically had everything we needed. You basically had everything you needed, and yet you had wanted to get the president under oath in front of a grand jury to trick him the way you tricked General Flynn and others. You wanted to take out the President of the United States with enough smarts to say, no, I'm not playing that game. Here's my question, Sean Hannity. When did Mr. Mueller know there was no collusion? Now, all of us knew from right out of the gate. He didn't write this in 3 weeks. This is 200 pages. No collusion. For Jake Tapper. No collusion, no collusion, no collusion. No collusion. Okay, when did you know that? Well, he had to know it. Some people think maybe 18 months ago, maybe 15 months ago. You had an obligation to go to the microphone to tell the American people that your president did not collude, that his campaign did not collude, that his White House did not collude, and Mueller didn't do it. Why? Because they wanted to get the president on a phony obstruction charge. Look at this second half of the report. It's all politics. It's all about impeachment. It's written for Jerry Nadler. It's written for Nancy Pelosi. It's written for CNN and MSNBC. It reads like some junior editorial writer at the New York Times put this together. There's barely no legal stuff in here. And you can hear them say it now. Well, we got to move beyond the law. It's a political decision. Oh, so now you confess that it's a political decision. I want to read to you the impeachment clause, because you have a lot of people here who don't understand impeachment. They just say, that's a political issue, and you don't have to commit a crime.
Got a minute, Mark.
True. But the standard is actually higher, quickly. The standard is impeachment for conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. It is a very, very high standard. Let me tell you something. If the Democrats in the House try to impeach this president, 63 million people are going to rise up. But let me ask this question. How many men who've been impeached have been removed from office? None. Not a single president has been removed from office. You think this Senate is going to remove this president based on these bogus allegations? of obstruction. This president never asserted privilege. Do you know it's the first president I know of in modern times where his administration is under investigation who's never asserted privilege? Iran-Contra, Watergate, Clinton, they all asserted privilege. Clinton even made up some privileges. He even had his own White House counsel talk to the prosecutors for 30 days. Never happens. Never happens.
When is your book out?
May 21, but you can pre-order it now.
By the way, I get the first interview. Thank you.
You got it, baby.
All right, Cud. This is what you're great at, great one. Thank you. Mark Show, Life Liberty Levin, #1 show, Sunday nights, 10 Eastern. Coming up.